Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another Darlings and Duds video, and every time I do one of these I say, okay, next time it's only going to be 1 month's worth of products, and like that, 2 months is gone and here we are in October. So I do have a lot of products to share with you today. However, for this video I've decided to group the products a little bit differently than I have done in the past. Normally I do all eye products together, all lip products together. Well, it seems like over the last 2 months, I tried a lot of different brands. So I have a lot of new brands, and within those brands, I either purchased several different items to try, or I received a couple of PR packages with several different types of items to try. So I've decided I'm going to group the products by brand, and then I have a few kind of single items within a brand that I have used in the past that I'll share at the end. So we're gonna jump right into it with a brand that I found at the dollar store. It is Believe Beauty. I finally was able to get my hands on several of their products to try. So I tried their foundation, 2 of their eyeshadow palettes, lip gloss, concealer, and powder. If you're not familiar with this brand, it's only available at Dollar General, and all of the products are around the $4 to $6 range. So an incredible price point, and I feel like the packaging is pretty amazing. So we'll start off with the foundation. This is actually the foundation that I have on my face right now. It is in a glass bottle. It has a pump. And I would say this formulation is actually really nice. Now, on my combination, more oily skin, it only lasts well for about 4 to 6 hours, even with powder, but it does look really nice on the skin. It feels nice, it's lightweight, it has a good medium buildable coverage. So I think for the price point, you can't beat it. The powder also is what I have on most of my face. I'll explain later, but this is also a nice powder. It's loose, translucent. The texture on it is pretty silky and lightweight. It's not going to add any coverage. And again, this one doesn't keep me matte for super long, but it is a really nice, kind of nice blurring powder. Now, keep in mind, even though these are a low price point, you're not getting a ton of product in this powder, but you know, again, for $4 to $6, it's not bad. The 2 eyeshadow palettes that I tested out, I'll give you a spoiler alert. These are both darlings. They're amazing, but I'm going to save my full review for a 6-pan eyeshadow palette showdown. I have a few other eyeshadow palettes you'll see that will be included, so watch for that. Now the gloss, this was a dud for me. I loved the color that I saw in the tube, and it's not a bad color. It doesn't have a bad texture. For me, it's the scent. It has a kind of chemically scent to it, and I just did not find it pleasant to wear, and I found that I did not want to reach for it. And a big part of that was the scent. If it had smelled like vanilla, I think I would have wanted to reach for it. It's pretty sheer anyway, but that was not a win for me. And the concealer, a lot of people love this. It's a good, decent one. If you're more mature skin, I think you're gonna struggle with this under your eyes. It has a cooling sensation, and I don't really feel like it's necessarily drying, but it does not provide enough coverage for me. And yesterday I wore it again just to remind myself, and I ended up with a blemish right here in the inner corner where I was really packing on a little extra concealer. So this just was not a win for me. But the foundation, the powder, the eyeshadow palettes, I think those are all great darlings. Next up, we have 3 products from the brand Nabla. Now, 2 of these products I picked up in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. These were a steal, and I told you all this was on my wish list to shop for. Well, I was a little slow in getting around to shopping. These were the only 2 shades left. So this is the Skin Glazing Blush in Truth. And oh my goodness, this texture is so smooth and beautiful. Look at that glow. I mean, this is some serious glow. So I am looking forward to using this, especially going into fall and winter when my skin is a little bit lighter. But I just find the texture on this blush, and then this is called Skin Bronzing in the shade Dune. Same texture again. This one doesn't have as much glow and shimmer, thankfully. So it's a little more, you could use this more in the contours of your face if you want, if you have the right shade. I think this came in 3 different shades, but overall, really nice formula. I love the packaging. So those are big darlings. And then the lipstick from this line, one of you all told me about this lipstick and specifically this color. It is the lipstick that I'm wearing. I do have a little gloss in the center, but this color is called Platinum. So I was a little thrown off by the color name and the actual color of the lipstick itself, but it is a beautiful, beautiful color. It is not, there's no shimmer. It's a cream formula, very long wearing, very comfortable, super pigmented. Now, I think this lipstick only comes in about 4 shades, at least that's what Ulta carries, but I really, really love this shade and love the formula. The next brand I want to talk about is Ilia. They were so sweet. They sent me a big package of several of their kind of top selling products and some new ones. So this first one is their Night Light Bronzing Powder, and this is the shade Drawn In. I think they have 2 or 3 shades. So it's pretty light, and as you'll notice, it has kind of a more yellow undertone to it. But for me, being a yellow undertone girl, this was a beautiful, natural looking bronzer. It's still a little light when I have a tan, but it just adds a hint of nice color. I think this is going to be great going into winter. Now, Ilia is a clean beauty brand, and they really put some really great ingredients in their products. So for this one, the main feature is that this is talc free. So I know some people struggle with talc. The next product that when I opened it, I thought, oh my goodness, I don't even have to put this on my cheeks. I know I'm gonna love it. Look at that color. This is called their multi-stick. It's a cheek and lip product, and it contains shea butter, orange peel wax, and avocado oil. So it's moisturizing and does kind of give a nice little bit of glow to the cheeks, but no shimmer or anything, but it's so nice. The formulation and this color, which is Dreamer, is perfect. My perfect fall color. I truly don't have another color like it. It's more of a kind of toasted orange or toasty rust color. I love it. So super fan of this multi-stick for sure. They sent me 2 of their lip products. This is their Balmy Gloss Tinted Lip Oil. Now, if you know me, I like either a gloss or a lipstick, and when I've tried lip oils in the past, I've not been real pleased with them. Even ones that supposedly give your lips a tint, I find them to just kind of melt right off the lips in 2 seconds. Well, this one, oh my goodness. I'm going to show you, I had already gotten a smaller version of this in a Sephora lip kit. So I'm going to show you this one. It has not only a decent amount of color, and it feels lightweight on the lips, but it does something interesting. It's almost like it grips your lips, and this color and the shine and the moisture it gives sticks around for a really good amount of time. So I have been really impressed by this. There is no scent on this product, no sparkle or anything. Now, the extra great ingredients they put into this lip oil are hyaluronic acid and salicornia. I believe it's a sea succulent, so both hydrating, anti-aging ingredients, so really good. And then the other lip product was also a kind of balm, let's see, what's it called? Balmy Tint Hydrating Lip Balm. And this one has that salicornia in it, but it also has shea butter and rose hip seed oil, which is another great anti-aging ingredient and hydrating. Look at this color. This was another thing that when I opened it up, I mean, I'm not usually one to go for red lips too often, but in a balm, and I thought, again, balm would mean that it was super sheer, but look at that color. And the texture on this balm, again, it's not one that's going to just melt right off your lips. It sticks around. It gives you a good amount of color, hydration. So I have been a big fan of this as well. The final product that they sent to me was their mascara, and this was a new product. This is the Fullest Volumizing Mascara. You can see the tube is well used. This at first, the first time I tried it, and even the second time, I thought, I don't like this at all. It is a very wet mascara. It has a huge brush. You know how I feel about brushes that are quite this big. And it smudged on my lower lash line. I thought, oh, this is not starting off well. I put it in my drawer for a week, tried it again. I was like, well, it's better. Let's put it in my drawer and let it sit. After 2 weeks, I tried it again and I thought, oh, I actually like this. So this is definitely one of those mascaras that gets better with age, kind of like a good cheese, you know? It needs to sit after you've opened it and it's gotten a little bit of air. It needs to kind of dry out a little bit. Now, the other thing about this is this huge old brush. It doesn't leave quite as much product on it as the Lorac one did, but I still end up having to wipe this off. Now, this is the mascara that I'm wearing on my upper and lower lashes. I was able to solve the smudging on my lower lash line by using the e.l.f. Clear Mascara trick that I've shown you before, and I'll be showing you again. So all in all, I have ended up really enjoying this. Now, I don't think it's overtaken my holy grail of IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. And just the wand size itself, I wish that could be changed. But overall, I do feel like it performed well. So this whole brand ended up being full of darlings for me. All right, let's go back to the drugstore. So the brand Essence, oh my goodness. All right, so if you saw my recent dupes video, you're gonna know my love already for these blushes. These are called The Blush. It was a very profound name. And the two shades I have are Bespoke, which is this kind of neutral brown with a glow shade. And then the other one is Beloved. And I won't spoil it here, but watch that dupes video because these both are dupes for some of my favorite high-end cheek products, but they're just so nice. The formulation, it's super smooth, buttery. There's a tiny little bit of glow on the skin, but no sparkle, and they last really well for me throughout the day. Two individual single eyeshadows that my best friend and I ran across these, I think this summer sometime, and I just hadn't gotten around to really testing them out much, but oh my goodness. I mean, again, super inexpensive. These are called Melted Chrome eyeshadows, and I have Ironic, and then I have Zinc About You. And you can just see from where I've put my finger how metallic and I mean smooth, and I mean look at that, it is like liquid metal. This one obviously has just that hint of pink, and then this one is more of a silvery champagne. They look beautiful on the eyes, so if you are into super metallic eyeshadows and you like a cheap price, definitely check these out. And then the final products from Essence are all of these eyeshadow palettes. And don't worry, I'm not going to go through these here because, yet again, these are going to be included in that 6-pan eyeshadow palette video, which is coming. But I'll just show you, each one of them have 6 eyeshadows, and I am so impressed with the formulation of these shadows. And for the most part, I mean, if you like the color composition in the palettes, I think you'll enjoy these. These are around $3 to $4 each, so really you can't beat the price. This one is actually my favorite of all 5. This is the Dancing Green. Next up, I'm just gonna get these duds right out of the way. I love Colourpop, but I have to say they need to redo their shadow sticks. These are called Color Sticks, And these are the driest things I have almost ever applied to my eyes. I mean, I'm sure there's something drier. Now, I am pressing really hard on my hand. They are so dry that you cannot blend these out on your eyes whatsoever. I have 2 shades here, and maybe it's just the shades that I picked, but I have Free Time and I have Happy Days. The colors are cool, but these are just not a win, and these come off in like 2 seconds. So definitely a dud, unfortunately. Since we're talking about eyeshadow sticks, let's dive into Urban Decay because I have 2 from them. So years ago, Urban Decay had cream eyeshadow sticks. You had to sharpen them, but I loved them. I thought they were great. And then they discontinued them and they've been just non-existent until recently. And Ulta had these available during their 21 Days of Beauty sale. So I thought this is the time to try them. And these are really good. So definitely remind me of their previous formula. However, these are an automatic turn up, so it looks a lot like the Laura Mercier pencils. Now, the 2 shades that I have are Pop Off and Roach. I swatched them on my hand. So Pop Off is a very pale, kind of metallic pink. It doesn't have any chunky glitter. And then Roach, it's a pretty decent, like medium to deep brown. It does have some kind of like a satin finish to it. These really are nice. They do give you a little bit of time to blend. They're probably not as long. You don't have as much time to blend them as maybe the Laura Mercier Caviar Sticks. I used the Pop Off one today on the inner corner of my lid before I put an eyeshadow over the top of it like I always do. And I just know that that shimmer shade on top is going to stay put. So definitely a darling stamp for me. And the other palette, I was so excited for this. It's been a long time since Urban Decay has released one of these 6-pan palette minis. And again, I'm not going to do swatches here. This is going to go in that other video. But I'll just give you a little spoiler. This is not my favorite. Part of that is just because of the colors being so cool. I really struggle with this palette in keeping the colors from just looking really muddy on my eyes. They're pigmented, they're good quality, but yeah, if you are into cooler shadows, this is probably going to be one of your favorites. Also, I do want to mention this is Naked 3, and so it is kind of meant to mimic the Naked 3 palette, but none of these shades, if you own that, none of these shades are duplicates. But for me, I'm just going to put this in the dud category, but it's just about the color selection for me personally. Oh, I forgot I had one more Urban Decay product in here, and it is one of their new kind of reformulated, repackaged Vice lipsticks. And this particular one I got is their Shine formula. So they have Shine formulas and matte formulas now. The shade is Local, and this is so nice. Oh my goodness. Super pigmentation. Let me just show you here. This is the Shine formula. Their matte formula is even more pigmented. Their matte formula is going to hang around even longer, but this is still pretty long wearing. This is a blue toned pink, mid-tone pink, which can be difficult to find. I find that I need to top this with a little bit of a warmer gloss like what I'm wearing here, but it's beautiful. The formulation is nice. The packaging is really cool, but I have to say every time I go to put the lid back on, because you can see it's angled, it's like I'm always going, oh, there we go. So I'm a little challenged that way, but otherwise beautiful packaging, great formulation, definitely a darling. And since we're talking 6-pan eyeshadow palettes, we might as well cover the last grouping that I have that is going to be included in that showdown. And these are from BAREMINERALS. I purchased these with my Ulta Rewards points. I got so excited for new eyeshadow from BAREMINERALS. I know, I'm an eyeshadow geek and I love BAREMINERALS. I've loved them for years. And this is the first time in a while that they've come out with a new set of eyeshadow palettes. So the 3 that I purchased are Burnished, Ultra Natural, and Rosewood. And again, I'll save all the swatches and my deep dive review on these for that upcoming video. The one that I will say for me personally is a darling that I actually ended up liking, even though the pigmentation is pretty light, is this one, the Ultra Natural. And you just heard me talk about the cool tones in that Naked 3 palette not working. For some reason, these cool tones actually work for me. And I do have a tutorial using this, so I'll link that up here and in the description box. But these other two just was not super impressed. And one final note that I will make here, because many of you have asked, is how did they compare to the previous Bare Minerals 6-pan eyeshadow palettes? Not the same. So I'll just say that these are much more pigmented. I mean, this dark plum shade is like a single swipe in there, and then this one, I mean, there is like no comparison, and this should be even deeper. So just keep that in mind, but I will have more details in that upcoming video. I forgot one other item I got from Bare Minerals, and that is one of their new Mineralist eyeliners in the shade Garnet. I featured this in my Makeup for Green Eyes tutorial, and I love this. I think this new formulation, they finally got it right. I think Bare Minerals has been struggling with their eyeliner formulation for a couple years, and I think they finally got a good one. So this is an automatic pencil, and this shade, even though it's a red, it just has a little bit of kind of a metallic shine shift to it, and I just find this super flattering, easy to wear, and it's very long wearing. So definitely a darling. Now, another PR package that I received this month was from Kinder Beauty Box. This is a monthly subscription box. All of the products in each month's box are vegan, cruelty-free, and meet their very strict clean ingredient standards. So if those are things that you are looking for in beauty products, this might be something to check out. In my initial box, which is considered their welcome box, it contained over $130 worth of products. The first product in this box is the Dirty Lamb Ultra Night Serum, and I have used this a couple of times. It's kind of like, I almost feel like it more of it as an oil, a hydrating oil. This is really nice. This is a retail price of $52. So a really good product, a brand that I've actually never tried before. Another brand that I had never heard of or tried anything from is this Earth Harbor Mermaid Milk Nutrient Glow Moisturizer. It says it has spirulina and matcha. A brand that I am very familiar with is 100% pure, and this contained 2 eye gels. So these are their Pure Bright Eyes Mask, and they're single use. I used these yesterday. I did find that my eyes, my under eyes, they were so smooth and flat. Like I had no puffiness. I usually don't have a ton, but I did notice a remarked difference. So definitely a big fan of those. The other thing in here is this Glow Makeup Remover. So I think a lot of us have become familiar with the makeup eraser. It's a big cloth that you just use water to remove your makeup. And then to wash it, you just rub it on a bar of soap and it washes completely clean. And then the last product in there is by Echo Lips. It's their lip cheek tint. Now, as you can see, it has some kind of a metallic sheen to it. So this is the shade Nude, and it's really light. So it's way too light for me to wear on my cheeks, but it has a really nice scent to it. So I will definitely be putting this on my lips. So overall, I think that's a really unique, interesting box. So if you're interested in checking out Kinder Beauty, the other thing is they do donate, I think it's 1%. Yeah, it says 1% of all their sales to charitable organizations. So I always love things that have kindness as a theme to them. So definitely maybe something you might be interested in checking out. Now, the last combination of products within one brand are these from FIERA Advanced Cosmetics. This was developed by a mature aged woman who said she was frustrated with seeing all these young gals applying concealer and all these products, and then going in herself to apply those and being frustrated by how they sank into her lines, etc. So she developed several products, including an anti-aging concealer and an HD matte finishing powder. One of you told me about this brand. So I purchased actually 3 products. I purchased 2 different shades of the concealer. Because the concealer only comes in 5 shades, it can be hard to find your exact match by only buying one. So that's an initial caveat for me that I was a little bummed about, but she does offer discounts when you buy multiples, you know. So the formulation of this concealer is probably the most unique. It feels kind of that heavy, tacky texture at first, but then as you smooth it out, it has a cooling sensation. This is supposed to actually improve the look of your fine lines and the texture under your eyes over time. She encourages you to use it for 2 weeks every day in a row to begin with to get those benefits. And so there's a lot of great things that she put into it. Now, it's also supposed to not crease, and it's supposed to be full coverage. Now, for me, I do not find this to be full coverage. I have pretty dark areas right here, and this is not enough coverage for me. I've tried to layer it on, I've tried to use it with a brush, all different ways to get more coverage out of it, and it's just not enough on its own. So probably because I have to pile on more product than maybe she intended, I did have a little bit of creasing, but it didn't dry out my under eyes, so that was good. Now, this powder was also specifically formulated for mature skin. It's not supposed to dry out your skin, and I would say all of that is true. It has a unique texture to it. You can feel, as you rub your fingers together, you feel it almost becoming cream-like. It is so interesting, and I actually have really enjoyed this paired with other concealers. So I would say for this brand, the concealer for me personally just really didn't work out, but the powder I will continue to use and do really enjoy. All right, going back to a more affordable brand, this is KIKO Milano. Oh my goodness, let's just take a moment and admire this outer packaging. Is that not beautiful? This is the packaging for these individual eyeshadows. Now, the price of these individual shadows is kind of pricey, but when you compare them to an individual shadow like the Hourglass Scattered Light, these are actually quite affordable. So just depends on what you're comparing them to. But the formulation on these is amazing. It is so smooth and buttery and metallic-y. This shade right here is Golden Hill. I'll show you swatches on my hand just a moment. And this other shade I got is Coral Sunset. And this is what they look like. This is basically one swatch on the hand. So more of a metallic look than chunky glitter. So, but super beautiful, gives your eyes kind of that very brightened foiled look. I'm definitely a big fan of these darlings. All right, staying at the drugstore, one product that did not work for me, but might work for you is the NYX Ultimate Base. This is their Shadow and Liner Primer. So this comes in, I think 4 or 5, maybe 5 shades. And I have the shade Medium, which is interesting because I actually don't find this to really have much color, and it doesn't look very medium to me. But you really don't have to worry because there's not a whole lot of color that comes off with this. It is basically an eyeshadow primer. And the reason why this doesn't work for me, but might work for you, is this has kind of some hydrating properties to it. And my eyeshadow creases like crazy. But I have watched other YouTubers use this, mature YouTubers that swear by it, say it's wonderful, but they have dry eyelids. So if you have dry eyelids, you might give this one a try, but for me, with my oily eyelids, this is a no-go. It's a dud. Let's go to a fun product from Tarte. This is called the Man-Eater Blush and Glow Cheek Plump. Now, somebody who has full cheeks, I'm always like, wait, I don't want my cheeks plumper. But basically, it has an ingredient like what's in the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow highlighter that I talked about last time, that's supposed to just kind of help plump up the skin, and just with the color and the glow that you get, it's just supposed to make your cheeks look really nice and healthy and hydrated. I really like this. It has a huge doe foot applicator. This shade is peachy pink, and it does have a little bit of glow to it, and so as the light catches it, you'll see that there. But I really think this is a really unique product, and it does have a nice cooling sensation when you put it on your cheek. So definitely a darling, and I'll probably be checking out some more colors. Eyeliner. Let's go to this other final grouping of products. I forgot that I had two in this brand. So first off is the eyeliner from Natasha Denona. She came out with some new eyeliners. I think she only has maybe 3 colors. And this is the purpley shade. It's called Burgundy. This is actually the liner that I am wearing on my upper lash line and lower lash line. These are really nice. They're soft and creamy to the point where you can, if you immediately go in with a brush, you can smudge them out, but yet it leaves a lot of pigment left. But once these set, they do stay. So I am really enjoying that. And then the other product, several of you have been asking and wondering, did I get it? I sure did. I mean, I was one of those people who was waiting for it to go live on Sephora's website at midnight, and I purchased it. So this is the Natasha Denona Retro palette. I have a full review and 3 looks with this palette coming up. This is what I am wearing on my eyes today. So this is one of the looks. So you'll be seeing a tutorial on all of this makeup. I'm a big fan of this. I'll just give you a little spoiler alert, but it's because these are my kind of colors. So check that video because I am going to give you some swatches. I was not disappointed at all with the color scheme in here. I've been enjoying this palette a lot, but stay tuned for that video if you want more information. 2 more duds. Let's just get these right out of the way. First was the Shiseido. This is the Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. All right, this has a pretty steep price tag. I have heard so many amazing things about this foundation. It is very luxurious packaging. It has this really cool twist locking pump. So what this is supposed to do, it says it refreshes nonstop, active force technology, synchronizes with skin, helps to resist heat, oil, humidity, and motion for a fresh natural finish that lasts all day, 24-hour wear, flawless, weightless comfort, medium buildable coverage. All right, when I first applied this, I thought, oh my word, my skin looks beautiful, and it did. It looked flawless. The finish on it was really nice. It felt lightweight, but let's fast forward about 4 hours into the day. Now, keep in mind, this says it's heat, oil resistant, 24-hour wear, all of that. And I am a combination girl, but this was already really shiny on me. I tried it with several different powders. And what I started noticing at about the 4 to 6 hour mark, it starts rubbing off under the nose area, and my blush and bronzer starts to fade quickly. So this just, I could not get that wear time out of this foundation. So for that reason, this is going back to Sephora. The other foundation also that was a bust for me, and this is technically a skin tint, but this is from Beauty Blender. It is their new Bounce Skin Tint. It says always on radiant skin tint. All right, so radiant should have been my clue, right? Combination girl wouldn't be good. But on the box, and I believe on Sephora's website, it talks about how this is supposed to be a skin tint that actually stays put. It has niacinamide in it, which is really good for pore reducing. So it is geared and kind of directed at those of us with large pores and more combination skin that want a product like this. But this it really just didn't check any of those boxes for me. And I started thinking about the amazing product from Wet n Wild. I'll pop it up on the screen because I don't have it real handy right now, but that product actually is very similar. It's a very thin sheer coverage, but that one, for whatever reason, it stays looking beautiful on my skin all day. So since I have a drugstore version that actually works better, and because this just did not look good on my skin, this is going back as well. I tried one of the new Bite lipsticks. These are called Power Move Soft Matte Lipstick. It's enriched with cocoa butter. And I've always been a fan of Bite lip products. And when they discontinued their amuse-bouche line, I thought, why? That was so good. Well, this really reminds me of that line. It has a real soft vanilla scent, but these lipsticks are really pigmented. I know that's a really beautiful swatch, but really pigmented, soft, and it is a matte formula, so it sticks around for a very long time. And yet it's not overly drying. I don't feel like it's super hydrating. I never feel like that with a matte lipstick, but it's not overly drying. And this shade Praline, just my perfect kind of light nude pink color. All right, we're down to the final two products, and these last two products, they're beautiful, they're expensive, but I just have really fallen in love with them. So this first one is by Charlotte Tilbury. It is her recent version. I think she's done this quad palette before, but it's a face palette, and basically it's two different kind of contour slash bronzer shades. For me personally, these are more contour shades. That is the contour that I'm wearing today. And then there's this really glowy, I would say light blush, or if you're a deeper skin tone, this would be a beautiful highlight shade. But I can wear this as a blush and then kind of a really brightening, glowy, like almost wet looking highlighter. And I don't know, there is something amazing about the formulation of these powders. They are powder, but when you put your finger in them, they almost feel like cream. And these two contour shades, I thought they would be very much like the Film Star bronzer. They're different. This one might be similar in tone, but the formulation's totally different. And I just find these to just glide on the skin and blend in so well. So if you want an idea for a gift, I have really enjoyed this palette. And the last palette I would say is probably my favorite face palette from this brand, and maybe my favorite face palette of all time. This is the new limited edition Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit. This is the Universe. And so this is every year around this time, they come out with a couple of palettes for the holiday season. And this year's version, first of all, the packaging, there is no plastic in this version. This is metal, and I kid you not, this thing probably weighs a pound. It's so heavy duty. And the top of this, it's a matte finish, so it doesn't show any fingerprints. It's pink and gold. Who doesn't love that? There's a real strong magnet, and then you lift the lid and look at those beautiful shades. These are, to my knowledge, I think all 4 of these are new shades. I've never seen this version, but this is kind of like a swirl of several of their ambient lighting powders. And then we have 2 blushes, which I'm wearing combined on my cheeks today, and a highlighter, which is also what you're seeing here. This is this and this combined. That's what I have been enjoying doing. And then this bronzer is pretty warm. So I have still, though, been using that on the tops of the cheeks or blended with a blush for a really nice kind of blush color, like a warm blush color. But I love this palette. This is probably my most used Hourglass palette that I've purchased. I only have a couple, but This is one that just really suits my particular skin tone and the colors and finishes that I like to wear, so definitely a darling. All right, we have officially reached the end of this video, and if you're still here, give yourself a gold star. I know that was a lot of products, but hopefully it was fun and maybe some of these products piqued your interest. If that's the case, be sure you check the description box below. I'll have links for you there. Thank you as always so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.